A brutal, high-speed strike connects with bone-shattering force, sending shockwaves through the air. The impact echoes like a cannon blast as he lands a direct, devastating hit. Another lightning-fast strike connects with pure, unbridled force. This exchange is so brutal it's practically a dance of death. He winces in agony, shouting that it hurts like hell. Honestly, what did he expect? A massage? The opponent gasps, noting that Suhong's Vajra fist has improved significantly, questioning if he has reached the level of minute subtlety. Suhong calmly reveals that he broke through that barrier just 2 days ago. His peer is absolutely floored, declaring that no one in their entire class can even touch Suhong when it comes to Vajra fist. Suhong brushes it off, telling his friend to go rest because their training session is far from over. His friend completely loses it, calling him a training maniac and storming off to get some dinner. Suhong waves goodbye to Teacher Lee, reminding him to actually wear his clothes properly before stepping out into public. The figure reminds him that he's still missing the 30,000 yuan registration fee, and the deadline is looming next Monday. Suhong desperately pleads for just a few more days to scrape the cash together. The tension is palpable as he stands alone in the center of the vast, empty court, feeling the weight of his empty pockets. He stares into space, repeating the figure 30,000 yuan. It might as well be $1 billion in his current situation. Memories flood back to when he was 3, the day his parents perished in a catastrophic beast disaster. After the world realized his immense martial talent, his guardians spared absolutely nothing to ensure his training continued. In this harsh era overrun by ferocious beasts, being a martial practitioner is the ultimate high-income career path. He trains so his family can live a good life, yet here he is only making their struggle harder. Guilt is a heavy burden to carry. The city sleeps, but a lone figure keeps watch in the shadows. Danger lurks in the quiet corners of this silent night. Inside, his family debates the rent, deciding to sacrifice their own needs to ensure little Hong gets his registration fee. They believe in his talent so deeply that they refuse to let their financial struggles hold him back. Suhong's aunt offers to stop taking her medicine to save money, but he refuses to let her sacrifice her health for him. With a hollow gaze and a heart full of secrets, he steps into the shadows. The weight of his burden is written in every tired line of his face. A sudden, agonizing shockwave tears through his mind. He clutches his head as the overwhelming pressure threatens to shatter his sanity. He returns home, forcing a smile as he greets his uncle and aunt, who are already worried about his late training hours. He tries to take over the chores, but his aunt firmly tells him to go rest and save his energy for tomorrow. The weight of his family's sacrifice hangs heavy in the air, fueling his desperate resolve. He stares at them, silently vowing that he will solve these problems himself from now on. A martial cultivator earning tens of thousands in just a few days? He needs a miracle or a very dangerous shortcut. The next day, the sun rises on a new plan. The announcer screams for the crowd's attention, welcoming everyone to the underground arena, where life and death are just business as usual. Today's main event features a hulking minotaur ready to crush anyone who steps into his ring. Win 4 fights to snag 60,000 yuan, or lose once and walk away with absolutely nothing. The stakes have never been higher. The crowd jeers, calling the newcomer a total rookie who is practically begging for a funeral. A veteran tells Suhong to show some passion and taunt the crowd, but he has absolutely no clue how to act like a jerk. He tries his best to follow instructions, fumbling through a trash talk line that feels awkward at best. He roars that he is invincible below the practitioner realm, challenging every weakling in the room to come at him. The crowd is stunned by his sudden arrogance, cheering as if they're watching a future legend rise. The match begins with the crowd baying for blood, desperate to see the Minotaur get torn apart. Suhong realizes the suffocating killing intent is real, but he needs that tuition money. His Vajra fist is his only ticket out. The Minotaur charges, calling him an arrogant brat and promising to play with him before finishing the job. Suhong's eyes narrow as he notices the brute's lower stance is completely unstable. Too easy. The Minotaur screams, demanding to know why the kid is spacing out in the middle of a fight. A moment of silence before the storm. A sickening thud echoes through the arena as Su Hong lands a perfectly placed strike. The Minotaur collapses, his pride shattered along with his ribs. The judge yells next, as Su Hong secures his first victory with ease. The crowd goes wild, unable to believe the rookie actually pulled it off. His next opponent sneers, telling him his lucky streak ends right here. Su Hong sizes him up, thinking this guy looks like the perfect punching bag to test his Vajra fist. He charges forward with determination radiating from every muscle. The clash is immediate and violent. Su Hong realizes that while his opponent has presence, his actual fist strength is vastly inferior to his own. After absorbing one of Su Hong's punches, the opponent's rhythm is completely broken. The opponent overcommits, leaving his entire waist wide open for a final, crushing blow. The audience erupts in shock at the sheer force behind that punch. The judge calls out 2 consecutive wins, and the momentum is clearly shifting. The arena atmosphere grows thick with anticipation and greed. The observers realize this kid is no ordinary apprentice. His strength is way above his pay grade. 3 wins down, the higher-ups start whispering, seeing the kid as the perfect tool for a fixed fight. A teacher orders his subordinate to recruit the kid, reminding him to keep his own status as a true practitioner hidden. Su Hong feels his minute subtlety Vajra fist working like a dream against these amateurs. One more win and that 60,000 yuan prize is officially in his pocket. The crowd gasps as the White Fox steps into the arena. The final boss has arrived. Whispers fly that a quasi-martial practitioner fighting an apprentice is basically a glorified mugging. Su Hong's heart races. He knows this fight will be his toughest yet, but losing isn't an option. The mysterious masked figure locks eyes with his prey, a chilling smirk playing on his lips. The hunt is officially on. The White Fox tells him not to be scared, promising to go easy on him. Yeah, right. The final defense match is officially underway. The whistle blows, and the battle begins. Su Hong knows his realm is lower, so he decides to go all out from the very first strike. A thunderous strike connects as the horned brawler forces his opponent back with raw, explosive power. A cold shiver runs down Su Hong's spine. This power is way too much for a mere quasi-martial practitioner. He realizes the truth. This guy is a genuine martial practitioner who's been suppressing his aura the whole time. The deception is revealed, and the real fight is just beginning. He takes a deep, steadying breath to calm his racing heart. With a shout, he unleashes the devastating Thunder Rush Fist. Su Hong finally understands the true, terrifying gap between an apprentice and a real practitioner. The crowd recognizes the triple resonance technique. They think the Minotaur is finally done for. The White Fox mocks him, demanding to see more than just defensive maneuvers. Su Hong's ribs ache. If he stays on the defensive, he's going to lose everything. He desperately scans for an opening, a single flaw in the practitioner's rhythm. The masked fighter is caught completely off guard as a lightning-fast strike pierces right through his defense. The tide of battle flickers for just a second. They grapple in a desperate struggle for dominance. His vision blurs as the sheer pressure starts to crush his consciousness. The White Fox whispers a deal. Throw the fight and get paid or walk away with nothing. Su Hong's pride won't allow such a pathetic exit. The villain warns him that he can't afford to walk away from this offer. Su Hong spits out blood, asking if they have any shame left in their bodies. The offer is clearly off the table, and the gloves are officially coming off. The White Fox threatens to cripple him so he can never dream of being a practitioner again. A dark, menacing glare pierces through the shadows. The path to becoming a true warrior begins now. The masked fighter strikes with blinding speed, delivering a devastating kick that catches his opponent completely off guard. Precision meets pure power in this electrifying showdown. Su Hong screams internally, refusing to collapse here, not when so much is at stake. The White Fox is stunned. How is this kid still standing after taking a full power hit? Su Hong's mind races through his life, his family, and his pride. He will not trade his soul for a paycheck. He rejects the easy path. He'd rather go down fighting than sell out his future. A voice booms from the void, asking him exactly what he is willing to pay to achieve his conviction. Su Hong doesn't hesitate for a microsecond. Everything. The voice demands to know the price again, and he shouts his resolve into the abyss. As the world warps, Su Hong wonders where on earth he has ended up. An ethereal presence acknowledges his arrival. He is granted a chance he never thought possible. A holographic display reveals his stats, showing his vital blood level and martial techniques in crisp detail. He stares at the floating screen, wondering if he's dreaming or if he's actually touching a digital interface. A new notification blinks into existence. A random task titled Path of the Arena appears, demanding he hone his skills to defeat the White Fox. He ponders what this newbie guidance could possibly entail. With lightning-fast reflexes, he narrowly dodges a lethal strike. The counterattack begins now. He realizes the system has summoned a clone of himself to train him, and it's executing the Vajra fist with perfect, terrifying form. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, a perfect sparring partner to drill the techniques into his muscle memory. With a lightning-fast grip, he catches the blade mid-swing. Absolute dominance in the palm of his hand. Is the system actually teaching him in real time? The intensity of the training spikes. He is pushed to his absolute limit, coughing as his body struggles to keep up. He notices his proficiency jumping from 7% to 10% in seconds. This is insane. He realizes this system is the ultimate cheat code for his martial journey. Two warriors collide in a high-speed clash of raw power. They tear across the floor, closing the distance in a blur of intensity. The percentage counters climb rapidly as he masters the movements under pressure. His techniques are evolving faster than he can even process. Numbers tick upward like a countdown to perfection. 78%, 92%, 97%, 98%. The floating light palm hits the mastery threshold and evolves right before his eyes. His void-treading steps follow suit, breaking through to the next level of intensity. Finally, his Vajra fist surges past the limit, reaching great mastery. He lets out a primal roar of triumph as the power settles into his bones. A notification pings, the task is complete, and it's time to head back to reality. The transition back to the real world is jarring. He looks at the White Fox, fed up with the mystery, and prepares to end this. The hero unleashes a blinding, lightning-fast strike. He slams his fist straight into the demon's face with bone-shattering impact. He whispers that his opponent is just too slow. A lightning-fast strike catches the masked warrior off guard. The shock of the impact is written all over his face. A devastating strike shatters the mask, leaving our hero reeling from the impact. There's no time to recover. The battle has just hit a breaking point. The beast awakens. He lunges through the debris with cold, lethal precision. The dust settles on the wreckage of the arena floor. The arena falls deathly silent as the masked monster stands tall over his fallen opponent. One crushing blow is all it took to silence the crowd. Su Hong collects his winnings, asking for his prize money, while the officials stare in stunned silence. The announcer confirms the victory, while the crowd wonders how a mere apprentice reached such an impossible level of mastery. The organization sends out spies to track the kid down. They need to know who he really is. The lone wolf prowls through the shadows, his steady footsteps echoing like a countdown to disaster. Danger is lurking, but he doesn't even break his stride. They scramble in the dark, desperate to follow the boss's orders and unmask the mysterious fighter. Su Hong scoffs in the shadows. They're still trying to tail him? Amateur hour. Under the watchful gaze of the moonlight, a heavy silence falls over the rooftop. The stage is set for a fateful encounter. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Little Hong returns home with a pile of cash, leaving his aunt and uncle absolutely stunned. Did he just rob a bank? He keeps his cool, explaining that a dojo owner is sponsoring his training because he's clearly just that talented. His aunt is skeptical, pointing out that the same dojo was notoriously stingy just a few weeks ago. He pleads with his family to just trust him, but the secret life of a martial artist is a heavy burden to carry. The The doubt vanishes as they realize their little Hong has finally hit the big time. A simple, silent moment of relief washes over the room. With the exam fees, rent, and medical bills covered, he's feeling like $1,000,000. He checks his system status. While his stats are steady, his techniques are sharpening into lethal weapons. A new notification pops up. Defeating stronger foes yields martial Dao value, a currency for pure power. He decides to test his new points immediately, dumping them into his vital blood stat. The numbers climb, and his vitality surges to 90. Pure, unadulterated rage consumes him as his vision locks onto the target. The pressure is mounting, and he's ready to snap. Just a reminder to support the official release if you can. With vital blood at 90, he's officially hit the cusp of being a quasi-martial practitioner. He dumps the remaining points into his vitality, squeezing every ounce of power from the system. His wounds are knitting together, and he feels like a god. Time to find a training ground and test this new strength. Under the cover of night, he defies gravity with lightning-fast parkour across the rooftops. Every leap brings him one step closer to his target. He sets his sights on the school's training ground to put his new stats to the ultimate test. He arrives at the Star City No. 1 high school outdoor training field. The Tier 1 combat power tester stands waiting, completely unaware of the destruction about to hit it. He winds up for a punch, limiting himself to 70% power so he doesn't accidentally cause a catastrophe. Keep supporting the original creators. A devastating strike shatters the air with raw, explosive power. There's no escaping this lethal blow. The force of his punch leaves him standing alone in the dark. He looks at the shattered machine and panics. Does this mean he has to pay for the repairs? He hears someone coming and decides it's time to bolt before he gets caught. A school official arrives, furious at the vandalized equipment and immediately blaming the usual troublemakers. The official swears he's going to teach those two brats, Chun Shan and Li Tu, a lesson they won't forget. Morning comes, and the school gymnasium is buzzing with activity. The students whisper, wondering how the notorious Chin Shan ended up so beaten and bruised. It turns out he was just the fall guy for someone else's mess. A Tier 3 practitioner arrives to teach the students the Thunder Rush Fist, a C-rank technique that costs a fortune. The students are in awe. Learning a C-rank move from a pro is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Word spreads that this is the same move White Fox uses. It's legendary for its explosive power. Enrollment for this class usually costs hundreds of thousands, so everyone is glued to their seats. The instructor begins, promising 10 demonstrations. It's a sink or swim situation. The demonstration begins in a blur of motion. The Thunder Rush Fist is pure aggression. A beginner's punch booms like a cannon blast. At higher mastery, the punch echoes multiple times, a sign of true skill. Our hero realizes that minute subtlety is exactly where his current level sits. Perfection is the goal, but the instructor warns them not to get ahead of themselves. The second round begins, and the students struggle to keep up with the master's pace. Hours pass, and the students are completely drained. The exhaustion is setting in. Most of them realize that C-rank arts aren't just hard. They're nearly impossible. Someone looks for Su Hong to see if he's figured it out, but he's already vanished. Su Hong is off in a corner, already nailing the beginner level. Watching a genius learn is one thing, but watching a monster learn is another. People are still fawning over Chen Shan, but Su Hong isn't impressed. That guy wouldn't even be average in a bigger city. The duo steps into the light, ready to face whatever secrets lie behind those glass walls. Their journey toward the unknown begins now. The instructors are disappointed, lamenting that this batch of students is a total bust. They agree that talent is everything. Without natural destiny, effort is just spinning your wheels. The ground trembles as an ominous power descends. Both men freeze, their eyes widening in pure, unadulterated terror. 7 resonances? The instructors are floored. There shouldn't be anyone this talented in their school. 9 resonances. The sound echoes through the hall, and the instructors are losing their minds. Something finally clicks for the instructor. He realizes he's witnessing a legend in the making. Raw, crackling lightning surges through his veins as he clenches his fist in pure, unbridled fury. The power is reaching a breaking point. He unleashes the Thunder Rush fist with terrifying precision. Even the veteran instructor is inspired, having a breakthrough of his own thanks to the display. The realization hits them. They need to find that student before he disappears again. They scan the area, but the mystery prodigy is already gone. Su Hong reflects on the grind. C-rank techniques are a different beast entirely compared to his old D-rank moves. With the technique perfected, he needs to farm more martial Dao value. Maybe a sparring match is in order? He arrives at the Furious Thunder Dojo, looking for a worthy opponent. A lethal formation of spear-wielding disciples lunges in perfect unison to crush their target. The air screams as their points strike with terrifying, calculated precision. He strolls in casually, telling everyone he's just here for a little practice. The tension in the room is palpable. A disciple snaps at him, telling him to stop making excuses if he can't handle the training. The crowd whispers that the new instructor is strong but loves to look down on commoners. They warn him about Li Yan, a disciple who is notoriously ruthless. Li Yan steps up, sneering at Su Hong's unimpressive rank. A vice-like grip halts the strike in its tracks. The momentum is shattered with raw, absolute power. Su Hong tells him to take it easy. Let's keep things civil, shall we? Li Yan is furious and demands a real fight in the arena. Su Hong just shrugs. He's happy to oblige. The instructor interrupts the bickering, reminding them that class is starting. Li Yan thinks he got lucky, but he has no idea who he's dealing with. Arrogance is a quick way to get your feelings hurt. Kid. The instructor prepares to demonstrate the Furious Sea Spear art, the final lesson of the day. The bodyguard unleashes a lethal spear strike, cutting through the air with deadly precision. Chaos erupts as he lunges, leaving his target no room to breathe. The instructor scoffs, certain that none of these trash students could possibly copy his moves. With a deathly calm gaze, he grips his spear as raw power surges around him. The battlefield freezes in anticipation as his eyes lock onto his next target. The spear crashes into the ground, signaling the start of the demonstration. He tells them to pay attention. He's only showing it once. The students in the back are complaining. They can't see a thing. The spear moves like a dragon in the sea, carrying the momentum of giant waves. With icy eyes and a weapon in hand, he stands unfazed amidst the raging inferno. The slaughter is about to begin. With a cold gaze, he grips his weapon tight, ready to unleash devastating power. The air crackles as he prepares to strike. With a surge of crackling blue energy, he delivers a devastating, high-speed strike. There's no escaping the sheer power of this lightning-fast counter. The students are horrified. Su Hong actually managed to copy the move perfectly on the first try. The instructor demands to know who's making all the noise. Su Hong strikes, and the speed of his attack catches everyone off guard. The instructor realizes he needs to test this kid properly. Maybe he really is a genius. He challenges Su Hong to a little guidance session. Su Hong accepts the invitation with a calm nod. The onlookers are worried. Li Yan is strong, and this is definitely going to get ugly. Su Hong tells him to lead the way. Li Yan attacks with everything he has, shouting the name of the technique. The pressure in the room skyrockets. Li Yan manages to hit mastery, but is it enough? He screams the technique name again, desperate to land a hit. He's pushing his mastery level to the limit. Steel shrieks against steel in a blinding flash of raw power. The battlefield erupts as their blades collide with soul-shattering force. The instructor is baffled. How is Su Hong keeping up without even being a full practitioner yet? His eyes ignite with a terrifying, golden fury. The predator has finally been unleashed. Support the official creators to keep the story going. Ding! Defeating an opponent above your level grants 35 martial Dao points. Sparring is officially the new gold mine. Li Yan is in complete denial. His pride is shattered. He starts to question every single hour of his life. All that bitter training and he's still outclassed by a random kid. The instructor yells for them to stop before someone gets killed. Li Yan looks to his teacher for answers he won't find. The instructor scolds him. If he can't handle losing, he's never going to be a real fighter. A cold, piercing gaze locks onto the target. Pure, unadulterated shock ripples across his face. The instructor realizes even the capital's top geniuses wouldn't learn that fast. He apologizes to Su Hong for his disciple's behavior, trying to save face. This guy sure knows how to flip his attitude the second he sees real power. Su Hong is wiped out, but the rewards make the fatigue totally worth it. His techniques are all reaching peak levels, and he's sitting on a pile of Dao points. The school exam is looming, and he needs to get his hands on an alloy weapon stat. He's decided that the spear is his signature weapon from here on out. The problem? He's broke, and his aunt's medical bills are eating every cent he makes. His bank balance is looking pretty sad. He needs a new plan to bring in the big bucks. The word on the street is that the city lord is paying top dollar for hunters to clear out beasts in the wilderness. Hunting ferocious beasts? That sounds like a dangerous, high-paying gig. The silence of the night hangs heavy over the lonely apartment complex. Something sinister is lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. His aunt is still working herself to the bone, refusing to let the family burden fall entirely on him. He walks through the door, and the mood instantly lightens. He tries to take over the chores, but his aunt keeps fussing over him like a baby. He tells them he's making good money now, but they're too stubborn to retire. They promise they're just doing light work, but we all know better. They're saving every penny for his future training. Bless their hearts. He knows he has to earn enough to let them retire for good, or they'll never stop pushing themselves. The beast hunt is his ticket to freedom. It's dangerous out there, so he decides to dump his remaining points into vital blood to ensure he survives. Vital blood hits 95.2. He's just one tiny step away from the next level. 2 days of intense training later, he's brought every single technique to perfection. He's ready. It's time to leave the city and test his mettle. He arrives at the martial practitioner base, and it's further away than he thought. Seeing it in person is a lot more intimidating than watching it on the news. Martial practitioners are everywhere. This is definitely the big leagues. He checks the bounty board. The payouts for beast ears are looking very tasty. The tension spikes as he cracks open the mysterious file. What dark secrets are about to be revealed? He learns that he has to bring back the left ears as proof of his kills. Gross, but hey, it's money. He approaches the counter, ready to cash in on his hard work. Everyone scatters as a group of entitled rich kids struts in. Apparently, young Master Yi has arrived, and everyone has to bow down. The crowd recognizes him as a known face from the underground arenas. Everyone hates the guy, especially since he's only powerful because his uncle runs the base. A mysterious group of armed strangers suddenly corners our protagonist. The tension is palpable as he locks eyes with the intruders. A chilling, calculated smirk spreads across his face. Nothing good is about to happen. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. The protagonist locks in with an icy, piercing gaze that spells absolute doom for his enemies. The hunt is officially on. He realizes the danger isn't just restricted to wild beasts. He must be wary of humans lurking in the shadows too. A stranger mocks him, questioning why a mere youngster would dare to enter the wilderness all by himself. The stranger sighs, dismissing him as just another fearless, naive kid who has no idea what he's getting into. Talk about a warm welcome. With a sharp, decisive step, he lands firmly on the grass. The hunt begins now. A lone traveler steps into the unknown, bathed in the ethereal glow of a new world. The journey of a lifetime begins right here. He's optimistic, vowing to return home with a massive haul of loot. 2 hours later, reality sets in. He's confused. Not a single beast in sight. Has the outskirts been completely cleared out already? With no other choice, he decides it's time to venture deeper into the forest. A cold sweat breaks as he senses danger closing in. He's caught completely off guard by the sudden strike. Tension explodes as our protagonist comes face to face with a lethal, red-eyed beast in the shadows. He's cornered, and the hunt is officially on. He identifies the creature from his textbooks. A phantom moon wolf. This is his first time seeing one in the flesh. The beast lets out a blood-curdling roar, its red eyes burning with pure, unadulterated rage. Death is fast approaching as those razor-sharp fangs prepare to tear everything to shreds. A deafening howl pierces the silence. The bloodthirsty beast lunges with lethal intent, claws bared for the kill. Our hero faces a terrifying showdown against a predator from a nightmare. A lethal white beast lunges with glowing eyes, but the hero dodges just in time. The counterattack is already locked and loaded. Lightning crackles as a devastating, supercharged punch hurtles toward its target. Nothing can withstand the raw, explosive power of this strike. He unleashes the Thunder Rush Fist with bone-shattering force. The beast lets out a final, pained cry before collapsing. With a crackle of lethal lightning, he stands over his fallen prey. The hunt is over, and he's just getting started. He's trembling with adrenaline, realizing that fighting a monster is even more thrilling than he imagined. He contemplates his own strength, wondering how he would fare against a mid-stage beast if he can crush an early-stage one so easily. A new target appears on the horizon. The furious black bear. The beast lets out a low, menacing growl, ready to defend its territory. He calculates the risk, deciding that as long as he avoids Tier 2 beasts, he should be able to handle himself. 3,000 bounty points secured. A system notification pings. He has enough martial Dao value to break through. He's about to level up to a full martial practitioner. A sudden, explosive surge of power catches him completely off guard. Eyes wide with shock, he braces for the impending chaos. He senses a massive, terrifying presence. What kind of monster could radiate this much malice? Curiosity takes over, and he charges forward to investigate. His eyes widen as he realizes what he's found. It's a Tier 1 late-stage beast. The black jade giant python. A blood-curdling scream echoes through the trees. With a single, devastating strike, he slams his opponent into the earth. The ground shatters under the sheer force of his overwhelming power. A sudden, ear-splitting roar shatters the silence. Caught off guard, he reels back as the intensity of the assault hits him full force. The protagonist narrowly evades a crushing blow from the massive beast. He launches into the air, ready to strike back with lethal intent. A colossal, razor-sharp claw tears through the air with lethal speed. Everything in its path is about to be obliterated. He can barely believe the creature's speed. He coughs up blood, feeling the sting of the impact. He wipes the blood from his chin, ready to keep moving. He reaches out, asking to borrow a spear for the next phase of his plan. A colossal stone serpent emerges from the shadows, locking eyes with its prey. The hunter draws his blade, ready to face the monstrosity head-on. A monstrous beast lunges with terrifying speed, jaws wide to devour its prey. There is no escaping those razor-sharp fangs. He knows that usually, it takes a whole team of martial practitioners to take down a beast like this. But he's different. All his techniques are at perfection, and he's already proven he can punch above his weight class. A lightning-fast strike lands with devastating force. The impact echoes through the air as the target is caught completely off guard. He realizes he's actually capable of soloing the python. With void-treading steps at perfection, he's untouchable. His furious sea spear art reaches perfection, turning him into a whirlwind of steel. A massive, earth-shattering strike connects with devastating force. The armor shatters instantly as the hero delivers a bone-crushing blow. A monstrous beast lunges forward with a deafening roar. Its razor-sharp fangs strike with lethal precision. He launches off the colossal beast with explosive speed, turning the monster's own body into his personal springboard. Nothing can stop his momentum now. A white-knuckled grip tightens, signaling a moment of pure, unadulterated resolve. The tension is palpable as they prepare to unleash hell. Surrounded by a surging torrent of blue energy, he grips his spear and prepares to unleash devastating power. The battlefield trembles as he readies himself for the strike of a lifetime. He shouts, "One more time!" for good measure. A blinding slash of raw power tears through the air. The beast doesn't stand a chance against this lethal strike. The massive serpent roars in fury as high-speed projectiles tear into its armored scales. Its defenses are crumbling under the relentless assault. The beast is really starting to feel the pressure now. He strategizes, noting that the size difference makes a one-hit kill impossible. He has to chip away at its health until an opening appears. With eyes locked on his target, he unleashes a lightning-fast strike. The air itself shatters under the weight of his lethal blow. Thunder Rush Fist at perfection. This is going to leave a mark. He knows the drill. Strike hard, then immediately retreat to stay safe. He keeps dancing around the giant, waiting for the perfect moment to deliver the final blow. This hit-and-run style is exhausting, but hey, at least he's not becoming lunch. He taunts the beast, beckoning it to come and get him. A sudden movement in the bushes catches his attention. He spins around, shouting, "Who's there?" A sinister laugh echoes through the forest. With eyes burning with intensity, he unleashes a devastating, energy-charged strike. The battlefield trembles as his fist connects with absolute fury. A lightning-fast strike sends the intruder flying into the dust. The heavy hitter launches a devastating counterattack with brutal precision. The attacker coughs, clearly regretting their life choices. He demands to know exactly who these people are and why they're interrupting his boss fight. The stranger smirks, telling him they've met before and demanding he hand over the python as a gift. Talk about bad timing. A lethal spear slams into the ground, pinning the survivor as a group of menacing strangers closes in. The lead thug sneers, recalling how he fully expected the boy to meet a gruesome end outside the city walls. He is genuinely baffled that the kid not only survived but managed to lug back a dying black jade giant python. Our hero realizes the situation has turned dire. He's surrounded by trained practitioners. Talk about a bad day at the office. The goons demand he hand over the python and scram, throwing around young Master Ye's name like a VIP pass. Pushed to the brink, the hero's patience officially leaves the chat. It's time for some payback. He scoffs at their pathetic ambush, boldly claiming he can take them all on, one by one. A lightning-fast punch connects with bone-shattering force, sending the first brute flying through the air. The thug gasps in terror. He can't believe the sheer power radiating from such a young fighter. Another brutal, point-blank strike lands, sending the second opponent reeling from the massive impact. The rest of the group stands in stunned silence. The atmosphere is suddenly heavier than a lead balloon. The survivor recognizes the terrifying technique. It's the Vajra fist, wielded by the legendary Minotaur. With a cold, piercing stare, the protagonist reveals his true identity. He is the White Fox. The young master seethes with hatred, swearing that no one has ever embarrassed him this badly in public. He screams the command, "Kill him at all costs." The order to pursue follows instantly, turning the battlefield into a high-stakes hunt. They vanish into the dense forest, but the pursuers are wary. The terrain is perfect for a deadly ambush. One goon questions their fear, wondering how a whole squad can be intimidated by one measly target. In a blur of speed, the hero blitzes past his opponent. The fight is over before they even register he's moved. The predator locks onto his next target with a glowing, terrifying gaze. There is no escaping that intensity. He shatters the earth with a single strike, sending shockwaves of pure destruction through the area. The hero continues his rampage as the group struggles to keep up with his blinding speed. One of the pursuers panics, realizing just how fast their prey truly is. The young master is horrified to realize the kid is using the 9 Resonance Thunder Rush Fist, a technique even veterans struggle to master. They can't wrap their heads around it. How can he have perfected both the Vajra Fist and the Thunder Rush Fist? Exhausted from his fight with the python, he knows he can't win a head-on brawl against 5 people. The only way out is to stay cool and pick them off one by one in the shadows. A massive blade slams into the ground, signaling the start of a brutal, sudden ambush. With eyes blazing, he lunges forward to deliver a crushing blow that pushes the fight to its limit. Absolute terror takes over the enemy's face. He finally realizes his life is flashing before his eyes. A lightning-fast strike connects, crushing his enemy's defenses and leaving no room for a comeback. A flash of precision leaves the target lifeless. The remaining survivors realize they are now the ones being hunted. The goons beg the young master to run, but he's too blinded by pride to retreat. He screams that he will kill the protagonist today, no matter the cost. He stares down his enemy with pure, unadulterated malice. A brutal, lightning-fast strike sends the enemy crashing into the dirt. The slaughter has only just begun. The young master is baffled, wondering how the kid got so much stronger in just a few days. A shadowy blur strikes again, catching his target completely off guard. The enemy curses in frustration as his attacks continue to miss the mark. It's time for the hero to turn the tables and show them what he's really made of. He warns them not to think he's cornered, he's just getting started. He unleashes the devastating void-breaking finger technique. A surge of energy erupts, tearing through the surroundings. The air crackles as the technique takes hold. He repeats the move, putting his enemies on the defensive with sheer, raw power. The thugs realize this is no ordinary technique. It has to be at least B rank. The young master screams, demanding the kid stop hiding and face him like a man. He tries to intimidate the hero with threats of murdering his entire family. Big mistake, pal. The protagonist's expression turns cold. The young master just made the biggest mistake of his life. With a lethal swing of his staff, he carves through the air, blue energy trailing in his wake. The young master continues to list his family's status, unaware that it's falling on deaf ears. Death strikes from the shadows as the hero closes the distance with a lethal blade. He mocks the young master, saying he actually preferred the guy when he was just arrogant, not pathetic. A lightning-fast strike connects, sending the target's world into a chaotic spin of pain. He slices through the enemy's defenses with a single, clean blow that leaves them reeling. A strike tears through the air, shattering the ground beneath their feet with explosive force. Dust kicks up as the protagonist lunges back into the fray, ready to end this. He makes it clear, threatening his family was the last thing that guy will ever do. The enemy coughs up blood, shocked that someone who isn't even a fully ranked practitioner can be this strong. The goon wonders what kind of monster he's actually fighting. A brutal strike lands, ending the fight and the opponent's dreams of victory. A blood-stained blade slams into the earth, causing the ground to crumble under the sheer weight of the impact. He realizes the giant python has recovered its strength, complicating his escape. He readies his spear, his eyes burning with intent. There is no turning back now. The remaining goons wonder where the young master went. They're starting to get nervous. The warrior freezes, detecting an unexpected presence lurking in the shadows. The tension is palpable. The young master emerges, screaming at the kid to stop running. A sharp sound echoes. He's been hit. He falls, realizing he's been taken out by his own arrogance. The protagonist gains a massive boost in martial Dao value from the kill. Who knew murder could be so rewarding? A bone-crushing blow narrowly misses his skull. He dodges death by a hair's breadth. After all these intense brawls, his martial Dao value is finally enough to break through to the next level. He desperately needs to find a safe spot to stabilize his energy. He spots a cave. It's the perfect hideout for a quick breakthrough. The colossal beast lunges from the darkness like a bolt of lightning. An armored limb slams into the ground, shaking the entire cave entrance. The hero prepares to take on the beast while the dust settles. He slips into the cave, narrowly avoiding the beast's reach. His status screen updates. He's a beast in every category, and his martial Dao value is skyrocketing. He scrambles inside, focused entirely on his internal energy. His blood feels like molten lava as he hits 100 vital blood. He's reaching the limit. A surge of power fills the space. He finally does it. He has become a true martial practitioner. Now that he's leveled up, he's ready to turn the tables on his pursuers. His eyes ignite with a crimson glow, The hunter has become the hunted. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. A cry of agony echoes as he strikes back. The blood-soaked beast stands before him, but now, the hero isn't afraid. He channels the Vajra fist, ready to shatter his target. He lunges straight into the jaws of the beast, a high-stakes gamble for survival. A crackling blade crashes down, sending shockwaves through the cavern. Surrounded by a red aura, he unleashes his full power in one final, explosive strike. The beast recoils, finally feeling the sting of the hero's new power. He commands his energy to focus. He strikes down, ending the encounter. A deafening roar accompanies a bolt of electricity as the serpent meets its match. He unleashes the Thunder Rush Fist, lighting up the cave. The beast lets out a final, pained cry. A colossal strike slams down, crushing the beast into the earth. Dust fills the cave, signaling that the battle has finally come to an end. Even the python couldn't stand against his upgraded strength. His martial Dao value keeps climbing. He realizes he needs a trophy to claim the bounty, but snakes are notoriously earless. He decides to stop worrying about the details and head back to civilization. The lone warrior walks through the canyon, standing over his fallen foes like a true king. He walks away from the scene, looking every bit the boss he's become. He mutters that the enemy got off easy considering what they tried to do to him. He wonders if he can track down the high-grade technique he saw earlier. The void-breaking finger, a technique worth killing for. Deep in the abyss, a serpent slumbers, guarding a hidden treasure. A radiant, mysterious light pulses from the rocks. Something legendary waits ahead. He memorizes the method for the void-breaking finger and lets the system take the wheel. The technique begins to manifest. He tests his new power, his strikes tearing through the air with lethal intent. The progress bar ticks up, 51%, 63%, 85%, 97%. He's almost there. Void-breaking finger, beginner level achieved. It's physically taxing, but he's ready to find a monster and see what this B-rank tech can really do. 3 days later, the forest echoes with the cries of his test subjects. With a single flick of his finger, he pierces his target's chest. The power is absolute. Perfection achieved. The B-rank technique is now fully mastered. With his training complete, it's time to head back to base. He arrives at the martial practitioner base, ready to collect his rewards. 230,000 coins? He can't believe the total. The other squads are stunned. They've never seen someone hunt so efficiently. Everyone is talking about his haul. Not a single weakling among the beasts he brought back. The final tally hits 406,000 coins. That's a lot of loot for one guy. He realizes he might have been a little too successful. Time to keep a lower profile. He tries to blend in, but the massive bounty is drawing eyes. Chaos erupts, the base is under attack, and everyone is panicking. The base is sealed off. No one gets out until they find the culprit. The supervisor demands to know what's going on. The news is grim. Young Master Yi and his entire group are dead. 5 elite practitioners wiped out. The crowd is in complete shock. Some of the onlookers can barely hide their joy. Good riddance to bad rubbish. If the young master didn't have such powerful connections, he would have been dealt with long ago. The search begins. They are looking for a lost B-rank technique stolen from the corpse. He watches from the shadows, confident that the trail leads back to the python. Not him. A tense standoff begins as the hero finds himself cornered by a crowd of suspicious guards. He notices them eyeing him. Did he just get caught in their crosshairs? The crowd scatters as the men in suits close in, weapons drawn. They approach him, trying to sound friendly while clearly sizing him up for a fight. They can't believe a kid like him took down 400,000 worth of beasts. They assume he just looted the young master's backpack. They order a search immediately. They tell him to cooperate or things are going to get very painful. He draws his spear with blinding speed. The atmosphere turns ice cold. The guards are stunned. They didn't even see him move. He plays the student card, reminding them who he represents. The guards hesitate, The principle of number one high is not a man you want to mess with. They realize that if they're wrong, they're going to be in a world of hurt. The supervisor intervenes, demanding cooperation to find his nephew's killer. He tries to buy the hero's silence with 10,000 coins. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Su-hong desperately tries to shift the blame for the dead python, praying the secret technique hidden on him isn't discovered. Talk about a close shave. A quick, tense deal is struck, sealing the fate of the entire encounter. He demands a thorough search, projecting pure innocence while sweating absolute bullets on the inside. The search turns up nothing, and the guards fork over the 30,000 credits just to be rid of him. He breathes a massive sigh of relief. His cleanup job was top tier, or he'd be a dead man walking. The guards order a full lockdown and mandatory registration. Su-hong realizes he needs a proper guiding technique, and he needs it yesterday. He arrives at the martial practitioner base inn, ready to take the next step toward godhood. Checking his stats, he's sitting on a massive 534 martial Dao points. It's time to see what all that beast hunting was actually worth. With 534 points to spend, Su-hong crunches the numbers. He's tantalizingly close to hitting Tier 1 mid-stage. He's still unsure about his spirit and physique stats, but with points to burn, it's time for some reckless experimentation. He dumps points into spirit, but honestly, he feels absolutely nothing. What a total ripoff. Next is the mortal body stat. The strength gain is immediate and glorious. Time to double down. His stats are skyrocketing. With his Dao value at 0, he's officially a powerhouse in the making. He pours 200 points into vital blood. Every little bit counts when you're gunning for the top. The physique gauge ticks upward. He's becoming a walking tank. Everything left goes straight into his spirit stat. A wave of infinite power surges through his veins, leaving him feeling like he could punch a hole through the sun. He slowly stabilizes as the excess energy begins to settle. Good thing his body recovered, or he'd have to explain why he suddenly looks like a professional bodybuilder. 1 hour later, Su-hong arrives at the Star City Martial Practitioner Association. He strides in confidently, ready to sign his life away for the sake of becoming a certified pro. The receptionist gives him the rundown: 100 vital blood and 1,000 combat power. Easy mode, right? The crowd whispers, doubting the lone kid without a master. Little do they know he's about to blow their minds. A silent, cold nod of acknowledgement seals the deal. Fan Jia fails the test by a hair and lets out a cry of pure frustration. Tough luck, kid, better luck next lifetime. Li Ming sails through the vital blood test with a solid 105. Now the real show begins. Tensions skyrocket as the protagonist squares off against the deadly testing tech. One wrong move and he's history. A fierce shout echoes through the chamber as he prepares to strike. Li Ming hits 1763 combat power. A respectable score for a mere mortal, but let's be honest, it's not exactly world-shattering. The crowd goes wild over Li Ming's score, whispering about his famous master. Everyone loves a good gossip session. Confusion ripples through the spectators. Does this guy even know his own master's disciples? It's finally Su-hong's turn. Time to show them how a real genius does it. He dismisses his competition with a smirk. Confidence is key, even when you're about to break the machine. The tester glitches out. Is it broken? Or is Su-hong's power just completely off the charts? 123 vital blood. The room goes dead silent. The impossible just became reality. The observers scramble to rationalize the result. It's just the blood test, they mutter, praying the combat test is normal. The final, decisive combat power test begins. Su-hong worries about holding back too much. He needs to impress, but he doesn't want to destroy the building. He settles on 5/10 power, just enough to win without making a massive scene. A blinding strike cuts through the air with lethal precision. The battlefield erupts as he delivers a crushing blow that leaves no room for escape. The sensor rings out, signaling the end of the round. A single, devastating strike shatters the drone into pieces. The battlefield erupts in a blinding flash of destruction. The crowd is losing their minds. He didn't even use a technique. Who is this guy? The final score hits 3,094. The machine is screaming, and so is everyone else. The instructors are witnessing a monster in the flesh. This changes everything. It's the same kid from before. The pieces finally click into place. Bathed in the golden glow of solitude, she meticulously plans her next calculated move. The silence of the office masks the storm brewing in her mind. President Wu Linxian is sweating. If she doesn't find a genius soon, her reputation is toast. An urgent report interrupts her. A monster has been spotted in the assessment hall. A Tier 1 early-stage powerhouse just shattered the record with a single punch. The legend of Su Hong begins. The bustling mall hides secrets in plain sight as the protagonist steps into the crowded lobby. Tension mounts amidst the unsuspecting swarm of shoppers. A staff member tries to usher him away, but Su Hong just wants his allowance. Priorities, people. The president pushes past the staff. She wants a front-row seat to this show. The staff freezes. The president is actually here? Wu Linxian introduces herself, eyes locked on the genius in front of her. Su Hong plays it cool, though he's busy analyzing the Tier 5 powerhouse standing right in front of him. The tension is palpable as they size each other up. She calls out his school for hiding a monster. The secret is officially out. Su Hong is only interested in his rewards and a good technique. He's all business today. The president offers to teach him personally. That's a flex if I've ever seen one. Su Hong recites the textbook definition, but he's hungry for the real secrets. She explains that guiding techniques are more than just simple pumps. They're weapons. Her own technique infuses her attacks with raw, destructive fire. Externalizing attributes is a dream for most, but she thinks he might just have the talent for it. Su Hong realizes he's been reading the wrong books his whole life. This is a game changer. She breaks down the hierarchy of attributes. Thunder takes the throne, followed by metal and fire. It all comes down to affinity. You can't just pick and choose your favorite flavor. She pulls out an affinity crystal. She's proud of her 80%, but she's about to get a rude awakening. She's certain he'll hit 90%. Oh, she has no idea what's coming. Su Hong tries to stay humble, knowing 80% is already world-class. An overwhelming flash of power blinds them both. Reality shatters as they lock eyes in the face of pure chaos. 100% fire affinity. The crystal is practically melting. The president is floored. 100% efficiency is virtually unheard of. She reflects on her own 80% efficiency. It's what made her president, but it's nothing compared to this. She realizes she's looking at a future legend. Star City just hit the jackpot. Su Hong isn't satisfied yet. He wants to see if his thunder affinity is just as busted. Crushing raw power surges between his hands. A blinding, electrified sphere of destruction ignites, ready to shatter everything in its path. Static electricity crackles as he manifests raw power right before her eyes. The tension is electric. He casually mentions his 100% thunder affinity. The president is officially having an existential crisis. 100% in 2 attributes. Is he even human? Or is he just a walking cheat code? He keeps dropping bombs. Wind is also at 100%. At this point, the president might just faint. A few minutes of stunned silence pass. A deafening silence hangs heavy in the air as they lock eyes. The tension is absolutely suffocating. The president is questioning reality. Everything is glowing at 100%. She's always considered herself a genius, but this kid makes her feel like a kindergartner. The pride of her life is being dismantled by a teenager in a single afternoon. She realizes that common sense no longer applies here. The data is clear, but the human mind can barely process it. To beat a monster, you need a bigger monster. And she's found one. He is truly beyond the comprehension of ordinary people. Su Hong is worried about wasting his potential. The struggle of having too much talent is real. He asks for all 7 techniques. He's going for the full collection. She warns him of the legendary failure who tried this before. It's a path paved with regret. He insists on trying them all. He's stubborn, but at this point, who's going to stop him? She pivots to the upcoming school exams. The stakes are higher than he thinks. War is brewing on the horizon, and genius training camps are the only hope. If he takes first place, the slot is his. The gravity of the situation begins to sink in. He remembers the trauma of the last war. He's not doing this for glory. He's doing it to survive. He makes a silent vow to protect his family at any cost. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. He returns home, ready to share the good news with his uncle and aunt. Their faces light up with joy. Their little boy has finally made it. With a 10,000 credit allowance, they'll never have to struggle again. Su-hong takes his place as the head of the house. The protector has arrived. Pure, unbridled energy erupts as he taps into a terrifying new power. The atmosphere shatters under the weight of his surging aura. A quick, sharp intake of breath as the energy stabilizes. A devastating, explosive strike connects with pinpoint precision. The impact sends shockwaves through the air as his opponent is completely obliterated. Smoke rises from the wreckage of his training gear. He's underwhelmed by his first attempt. Is that all there is to it? The system notification confirms he's learned it. Level 1, here we go. He notices the levels. He can actually upgrade these things. The president didn't mention this because she probably didn't know. Is he the only one who can level up these techniques? It seems his system is even more broken than he thought. He wonders if he needs more Martial Dao points to push these to the limit. He's broke on points for now, but he's already planning his next power spike. Surrounded by a blazing aura, he enters a deep meditative state to unlock his hidden power. The pressure is skyrocketing as his energy tears through the very air. He cycles through all 7 attributes, feeling the friction between them. He finally understands why others failed. The energies hate each other. He can only handle one at a time, but he's not satisfied with that. He decides to push the limits of his own body. The air shatters as a deafening, lethal strike rings out. Pure power obliterates everything in its path. The two energies collide and fizzle out. Back to the drawing board. Thunder and fire are similar, but can he actually force a fusion? A blinding surge of raw energy erupts from his palm, shattering everything in its path. The power is unleashed in a single devastating strike. He's not giving up. One more try is never just one more try. Dawn breaks and he's still at it. He's so close he can taste it. Just a tiny, microscopic adjustment is all it takes. He screams at the energies to fuse. Come on, work with me. The fusion begins. Success. After an all-nighter, he's finally cracked the code. Now, it's time to see how much damage he can actually do. He heads to the combat plaza to test his new toy. He picks a Tier 3 tester. He's hoping it's sturdier than the last one. He sets his power to 3/10. Let's see the numbers. 2,343. The math is already broken. Even with just thunder, he's hitting way above his weight class. Now, let's add the fire into the mix. A blinding strike shatters the air as he unleashes a devastating, earth-shaking blow. The impact sends shockwaves rippling through the city. 3,041. It broke the barrier again. He's a Tier 1 beast with the power of a late-stage pro. This is insane. And he's only using 2 attributes. What happens if he manages to combine all 7? The thought is terrifying. Bathed in a mystical glow, our hero lies spent under the night sky. After a brutal battle, the silence on the rooftop speaks volumes. 3 attributes prove too much to handle. Back to the drawing board for the Master of Chaos. He decides to level up his techniques first. It's time to grind for more points before the exam. He arrives at school, ready to dominate the monthly exam. The teacher announces the training camps. The best of the best will be chosen today. The top 3 are going to the big leagues. Su-hong isn't planning on taking second place. He screams in pure adrenaline, eyes locked on the prize. The genius training camp is his ticket to the top. He's spiraling into a panic. A Tier 1 instructor? And what's this about only the winner getting a slot? The math isn't matang. Panic sets in as he realizes his rivals have already hit Tier 1 status while he was away. Talk about a bad time to take a vacation. The school's elite have been training in secret, mastering the Thunder Rush fist to perfection. This is bad news for everyone else. He clenches his fists, eyes burning with a promise to reclaim his crown and put the arrogant brats in their place. The search for the mysterious 9 resonance genius continues, but the trail is colder than a student's heart on a Monday morning. He freezes, sensing the atmosphere shift as a sudden, heavy pressure fills the room. A rival appears, sporting a grin that practically screams, "I'm here to ruin your day." Jiang Ming crashes the party, hurling insults at the students and demanding a spar to prove his own disciples are the superior ones. The principal seethes in silence. He's trapped in a corner and forced to defend his school's honor against this smug intruder. The provocation is thick enough to choke on, and the tension in the room hits a breaking point. Suddenly, a name ripples through the crowd. Su Hong. Everyone freezes, wondering if they heard that correctly. It's him. The little monster everyone has been whispering about. Shock waves ripple through the spectators. The legend is actually hiding in plain sight at number 1 high. The opposition realizes they've walked into a trap, fearing for their disciples' dignity. Jiang Ming tries to backpedal with a fake smile, desperately hoping to avoid the embarrassment of his students getting crushed. The mockery is blatant and insulting. The teachers are ready to explode with rage. The match is officially set. Chan Peng versus the monstrous Su Hong. He offers a pitying look, convinced that Su Hong is about to be wiped off the map by a quasi-martial practitioner. He warns the kid to play it safe, not realizing that safety isn't exactly in his opponent's vocabulary today. Su Hong stares him down with ice in his veins, offering him a final chance to walk away with his pride intact. He doesn't wait for an answer, his intent to dominate clear as day. With a single, devastating strike, he sends his opponent flying through the air. There's no mercy when he's on the offensive. With a single, effortless motion, he slams his opponent into the pavement. The fight is over before it even began. The onlookers are stunned into silence. Since when did Su Hong become this terrifyingly strong? Eyes widen in disbelief. A one-shot knockout against a quasi-martial practitioner is nothing short of a massacre.